You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Howdy.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode of the show, we're talking about anime that airs the 21st of June to the 27th of June, 2025. And there was a lot of things I thought were ended this week, but it turns out, no, they've got another episode next week.
Or they just never stop. And they just want to keep going.
Yes, just keep on
Some
going.
things do 12, some
Runaway
things do
train.
13, some things never fucking end, even though
Question
we're
mark.
busy and we got other shit coming down the pipe. Come on, lads.
Starting with one of those things which ain't going to end anytime soon. It's YAIBA episode 12. Nadeshiko Yamato is calling as we grab a chapter from much later in the comic, drag it to this point in the comic, and stick some stuff in it that we missed out from earlier in the comic. As we learn that
think they get
Onimaru,
away with it.
they do. I suspect Aoyama, based on what I know of his involvement in the movies and the TV show, I suspect he's at least checking everybody's work, if not actively having input in terms of what to keep and what to include here. We've got Onimaru. He's flying around in his spaceship, and he's taken over Gunma Safari Park and Niigata Science Museum.
Expanding
If
his
you
domain.
can't take over Tokyo, that's a good second prize. And also, I assume you can turn several of those things into demon. We went with lords, we went with kings, emperors. I don't know. We'll figure out another kind of guy,
Middle
group
managers.
of guys to make. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it won't take us long to figure out who those guys are, because we'll get straight into it next week. But before we get to that, a young lady challenges the dojo because they've been taking advantage of her darling YAIBA.
They sent him out shopping. How fucking dare they?
Washing
Not
the
only
floors.
shopping wearing giant steel shoes.
Well, he kept going like, these ones are easy. It was like, all right, how about these ones? These ones are easy. And it's just like, okay, how about these ones? And it's like, you should have shut the fuck up. It's like, whoa, these are really hard. It's like, yeah, but he's not gonna. He's trying his
I
best.
appreciate that it knows what kind of comic it is. We see the standard like metal Gata, and everyone's saying, "Oh yeah, of course." The common trading thing is, all comic fans saying, "Here's some just comically oversized ones," which he still goes down and shopping. You hear him clanging around, and saying, "Ooh, beep half off." We'll have hot pot tonight. Kick ass. Clang, clang, clang.
This is Nadeshiko Yamato, who turns out to be YAIBA's fiance, who is trained with the Naginata, and she's going to claim this dojo, and her and YAIBA are going to settle down unless anyone can stop her. Luckily, we have three people who could possibly stop her: Kojiro, Musashi, and Sayaka. You go get her, Kojiro.
Kojiro, your sword doesn't extend like I did the other one. It's just the bamboo sword. He's already gone. He's already been knocked out.
He's too dependent on the extendo sword. He's good. He's a good sword fighter, but then he's like, extend. It's like, oh yeah, it doesn't. Not every sword does that. Yeah, okay.
You got your fundamentals, kid. Let me show you how it's done. No, my back. No.
He's put his back up because he needs to sit better when he's watching the TV. Because we've seen him. What Musashi's been doing is watching people playing him on TV, which is a very fun bit. It's like going, there I am.
The modernization thing is
that's me.
The modernization thing is like, Saki, fucking record this for me, would you? And she's like, you can just stream shit, old man. It's not a fucking problem anymore. But yeah,
that's what people at home are doing right now.
It's up to Sayaka to have a much longer fight, where in the middle we get a flashback to how YAIBA and Nadeshiko met. We'd learned that Nadeshiko also has a terrible father who we don't see, but he managed to get her lost in the jungle, where YAIBA rescued her. And I guess YAIBA is just a very small kid.
He's short king, yeah. He has like that Goku thing going on. Where he'll suddenly shoot up to like 5 feet as soon as he goes away for a couple of years.
While in a flashback of 3 years, she's the height of a Conan character who's taken that drug. Now she's the height of like I guess like a teenager, right? Like like 5 foot something at
Yeah,
least, some kind of thing.
she's taller than
But
Sayaka. No, I think Sayaka.
she has had a growth spurt. YAIBA has had nothing. He is still as chibi as he was the day
Yeah,
he was
I f-
born,
It's all that
seemingly.
training, like in Donkey Kong Country, you know. It really puts
It's
inches
stunts your
on you.
growth.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, well the air is very thin down there.
Mm,
I
mm.
feel like they've made Sayaka a little smaller than she is in the comic to try and like give the
Because
illusion
otherwise
that
she'd be like way taller than YAIBA is the thing. Like YAIBA's like
yeah,
3 apples tall. He's not very big. Yeah.
which
Mm.
I've the sneaky suspicion hurts are joking next week's episode, but I can't have the mangas coming out very slowly from Viz, so I have no way of checking that. Um, and Sayaka wins because Yaiba comes back with the shopping, and that's enough of a distraction for her to
Get one in.
defeat her. And it turns out Yaiba was too stupid to realize that he'd agreed to get married to this woman. Um,
It was some
He
soba based pun
misheard.
I don't
Yeah.
can't pick up on.
Will you take my hand and will you have some soba or something like that? It's like he misheard the situation. Because I think the thing she's distracted by is like, oh, you're the kid from the soba shop, and she's like, what? Yeah.
Dad's here. He gets an argument with Sashi over the sword that he
He
can't
just
offer.
shows up for dinner. Fucking typical dad. Like they're all having a chat at dinner. It's like, how are we gonna get these other magic orbs? And dad's like, oh well, there's this magic orb you could go for. And it's like,
The
but nobody
Dragon
knows where it
God.
is.
The
Hmm.
Dragon Gold
Fortu-
Orb. And luckily, Nadeshiko thinks she's seen the map to where it is. So let's go on a Dragon God Orb hunt. So that'll be our next arc.
Yep.
Um,
yeah.
So many orbs. So many orbs. All the colors of the rainbow. All of these picturesque locations up and down the country.
I do like the idea that the slot where his orb comes out, that's not a mistake, and him spinning around is not a mistake. It's like that's a feature. You're supposed to slot in different things. Like, yeah.
yes. Yeah, it's now got like a very tokusatsu type. We can sell toys of this feel of
Yeah.
Mm.
swap,
Again.
swap the different powers in and out. And then after the credits, we see that our mad scientist is repairing the Fujenkin, uh, and Onimaru is going to unify Japan. He says before he takes
It's
over the
already
world.
unified, bud. Like you're a little late,
Yeah,
but
but
okay.
against Yaiba. Hate that little bastard.
Yeah, yeah.
Ruin his life. I appreciate that. I was thinking that. Yeah, Sayaka, don't you like know how to sword fight? Because when we were storming the castle a few
Doesn't really
episodes
come
ago,
up.
you had all the gear on. Like, so I'm glad it's just like this whole encounter. She's outside like doing practice swings once in, getting the team down. Well, isn't that because you got shoved by another girl from the Yaiba once in? So that's part of it, maybe, but I guess I'm part of the team as well. I should probably get some practice in, get better at this.
It is
Give us,
funny
give us
the
some more to do.
extended thing as well, because we get a lot of side commentary in that case from Mr. Cucumber, like who's still around. It's like, where's the frog guy? Oh, he's out playing mahjong with Granny, kind of thing. It's just like these these weirdos are sticking around, and I do love that. That is good.
I like how it's like it's about a number of domestic scenes, but it's no less kind of bouncy and fun with the
Yeah,
animation. They're just turning it on for the big fights like last week.
I was going to say,
yeah, they keep it up
hang
for
on
the
a second.
comedy and
This
everything.
is Aoyama. They're playing shogi in the park
Sorry,
with
yeah,
Grandma.
yeah. Of course, of course.
He's all about shogi and chess,
Mm, mm.
as we find
Still
out
is.
in Detective Conan, episode 1166, The 17-Year-Old Truth, The Far-Sighted Bishop. So, do you want to hear Shigeru Chiba talking English? Do you want to hear
Yes.
everybody in this episode talking English?
Oh yes.
Some
Well,
people
this
are
is
better than others. I think he's better at emoting in English. I think your man, who's your man? Who's the one-eyed detective? I mean, like that could be anyone in Conan, but you understand what I'm talking about in this context.
yes. Kuroda is played by
I can't think.
Yukimasa Kishino, and it's
Hmm.
Fumi Hirano playing Rumi Wakasa.
Yeah, like I feel like she's trying to do like an American accent and it's coming out across pretty well. But your man is he doesn't really emote when he's like shouting. Is like, I'm a Japanese cop. You gotta listen to me. It's just like it's not really coming across as urgent. But he's trying to emote through a language he doesn't fucking speak. I assume he's learning by pronunciation guide or something. So yeah.
Um, Yeah, so we see the hidden eye of Rum 17 years ago, and it's red. And he seems to have the ability to identify people on sight. And he explains later on he has a
His
photographic
photographic
memory.
memory in this eye, he used to have it in both eyes, but I guess he
Yes.
worn it out, and that's why he wears a monocle over his now good eye.
Yes, I
Yeah,
suspect whether that's injured as well. I think with the one eye faded, and the fact that he now has to keep the other one covered up, and we didn't see it. It hasn't turned red since we see him without the disguise on.
yeah.
I think this is important for the overall meta plot based on his behavior in some of the movies. Um,
Yeah, so it's something like he has like perfect recall in his eyeballs, but if he uses it too much, it can run out. Yeah, he can strain his
yeah,
eyes doing
because
perfect recall.
it's suggested in the movies that
Hmm,
he's trying to find that. I think it's that he thinks he's got suspicion that the
hmm.
drug makes you younger, and
Yeah, even in this episode, because he mentions like I used to have it in both eyes when I was a young man or something like that, and it's like, oh,
yes,
he wants to get younger to fix his eyeballs so he can see everything. Yeah,
yes, and he thinks that Vermouth and the boss are either using that or something else to keep themselves young.
yeah, like a better version that doesn't turn you into a child. I hope.
Because in one of the movies, Vermouth deliberately hides Iba from Rum because she doesn't want Rum confirming that the drug makes
Mm,
people younger. Um,
yeah.
because I suspect she and the boss have done something similar. Um, that movie is also the one where it was confirmed for me that Rum does not know where the boss is. Uh,
Yeah, much. He's probably learned his long distance, like voice synthesized over the phone, kind of orders from the boss, kind of thing. It's just like
Yes, because
I'll do
he
that, and
now
people won't know who I am
in the
because that's
present
how
day,
it is with the boss with me.
in the present day, he is now hiding himself from everybody else in the Black Organization, which
Like he picked
seems
it
a
up
good
from the
move.
boss. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh yeah, that is smart actually. Don't let
yes,
them know who the
because
fuck you are.
it's like Jin is the only one who seems to be like, we're a criminal organization, we do crimes, stop plotting against each other all the time.
We're
Conspiracy
all
is a
Uh,
trying to get
crime.
paid, lads. Come on.
um, yeah, so he's able to identify all of Amanda Hughes' bodyguards, and they taser them and put them in suitcases. Um,
That long extended sequence of him identifying people and where he saw them, several people at Wimbledon. Maybe he was particularly proud of how well he could pronounce
Ah,
Wimbledon.
timely.
Hmm.
Then Amanda says, "Oh, I've left my knight in is it Koji Hamada, the other guy who gets murdered in this
Yeah.
episode? Yeah, Koji's room. Can you go and fetch it, ask her?" And you're like, "Okay, she's deliberately sending her away to save her life because she knows Rum's on his way." Um, and then Rum shows up with like loads of henchmen, and then Amanda starts giving Rum some sass because she first met Rum 50 years ago at a party for held by Karasuma Renya, where he was this now middle-aged man was had the nickname Rum. Um,
Hmm.
and you're like, okay, now we're at some point we're going to have a 67-year-old flashback take place where we see who was at this party. Um,
I think I do like about this flashback that like I'm not going to even possibly try to figure out in continuity. So this is how many years ago in continuity?
17,
It's
17
This is 17
years.
years ago, but everyone has smartphones. They all have fucking smartphones still. So all of a sudden, people have smartphones at the beginning of when Conan starts. Ah, it's funny.
It's
Yeah,
the Simpsons, like,
Yeah.
theory,
yeah.
like a kick you
Sliding
from
time
that
scale
window.
fucks with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Rum's plan goes slightly awry when they mistake Kuroda for a bodyguard. He'd actually been sent here by his superiors to make contact with Amanda for reasons we're not given.
Yeah, yeah. He's went under the pretense of I like chess to the chess tournament, but he's specifically here to meet her. That's all we know.
Yeah. This is where we get the confirmation of it being photographic memory and one eye faded. We learn, though, that the FBI are not going to save Amanda because Vermouth impersonated the FBI contact and told them, "Oh, it was a mistake. Don't send anybody."
So
And so,
no one's coming for you. And now, if we don't get what I want out of you, I know that your last bodyguard, who we haven't, they they zap with a like a friggin'
yes,
stun gun all the bodyguards. And one assassin basically goes like, oh, and they faint or they do something stupid, and the bodyguard's like, are you okay? And then they zap him and they stuff
God
him in a
damn.
suitcase. It's really fucking funny, like, because they do it several times over. So there's like, if we can't get your last bodyguard, who I know is like a daughter to you, we'll be able to torture her with this fucking kill drug in my hand here,
no,
says
what,
Roman.
what? Yeah, no, they're trying to make her surrender by the
By threatening her daughter bodyguard, yeah, is I think what the
yes, but
suggestion
they're going to
is.
threaten Amanda with the pill because they don't want to
Sorry,
kill
they're going to threaten
Amanda.
Amanda with. Sorry, yeah, I wasn't trying
Yes,
to. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, they don't want to kill Amanda. They want to extort her so that when she gets elected, that she'll be under
she'll they'll have
their
him they'll have
control.
blackmail on her basically, yeah. And so
Yes,
instead of this happening, Amanda's kind of like, good plan. And just eats the pill right out of Rome's hand. He's like, oh fuck, we gotta go, guys.
but as he's leaving, he says, "Ah, the reason I'm called Rob, it's not a nickname; it's an inherited code name from my dad, who also used to work for Karasuma Renya.
Hmm.
But you're dead now, so you're not going to know that." But
I can reveal this information to the dying
he
person, and also you, the audience.
he
Okay, cool.
does make the point that they are not going to be able to stick around to check that these two people are dead. And then I wrote, so this made me write down: have the Black Organization ever managed to confirm that they've killed somebody with these tablets? And is this the reason why the FBI are so nonplussed about Conan? Is because they already are harboring a bunch of de-aged people who
Yeah,
the Black Organization
they're
think
not
they've
worried
killed.
because, yeah, it's the thing of, well, we've killed everyone, and also there's a population boom. That's great. Good news all around for us, the Black Organization.
It'll
Yes.
turn out at the end they're all secretly, we don't actually kill anybody, we're actually here to try and save people.
What if all the boys detective club children are actually like under deep cover agents who have been de-aged?
I think
Probably
next
not.
week.
Sorry,
I think.
Conan, this is how you find out.
I think next week we'll definitely confirm that they do like to kill people.
Yeah.
But I do question how effective this pill is of killing people after this one, where they say we don't have time to confirm that they're dead. It's like, okay, that's an interesting little
Listen, I
foible to
know
add
we
to
gave her the
this.
poison, but can one of you go over there and just shank her real quick? Like, just listen, double tap. Like, just make sure,
Come on, there's no poetry in that, man.
Yeah, but
Uh,
We're
if
just
you
everyday
leave before
stuns.
you confirm the kill, she has time to set up a puzzle while she's fucking dying from the
yes.
thing, so that she can leave a secret message for people. Like, you gotta double tap, otherwise they could do a dying
Yeah.
message.
Well,
Ah,
yeah, he's got to find the bodyguard. You see, so unfortunately, in saving Asuka, uh, Amanda has doomed Koji. Koji managed to get rid of them at first, uh, and then
I like the way he just kind of loosens his thing to make it look like pajamas. He's like, "What the fuck, guys? I don't fucking have time for this shit. Close the door." It's like that'll hold them off for a little bit. And what's the thing he asks her? There's this like, oh, you can't go up there. She's sent you here to save your life. She's like, no, I gotta go. And he's like, I also have a stun gun. This is an app. I'm gonna hide you in behind my shogi match settings for the last fucking 100 years or whatever the fuck that he brings with him everywhere.
yes.
Eyes are in a bookshelf essentially. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then Ron comes back and says, I think those cases are those folders have moved." He said, "I always wanted to get interested in Shogi," and he's about to move it, discover Asuka, and then Koji goes, "I remember where I've seen you before. It was at this business meeting that Karasuma Renya was supposed to come to, and he couldn't do the presentation, and you came along instead." And this completely fucks with Rome. Like, fuck, there's another person with a photographic memory, and they've remembered me.
Well, it's so funny because it's like he talks to
What are the
Amanda,
odds?
and it's just like, I've got a magic eye. I can fucking remember everything with perfect fucking detail. She's like, yeah, I know who the fuck you are. It's like, wait, you can remember things without your eyeballs? Fuck these people. I fucking hate them. I'm gonna murder everyone who can remember things without magic eyeballs, because that's my whole thing, being able to
And
remember
that's
things.
pretty much it. Because when we go to the present day, that's what he's worried about: is that Asuka heard his voice, and that's enough. He needs to kill her. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so Amanda is dead and left a message with a knight where she's marked the knights with eyes with lipstick, put a watch around it, and the watch's face has been given a lipstick kiss. Meanwhile, Koji is also poisoned. This makes Kuroda even angrier that Koji's been poisoned, because this is like the greatest shogi player in the world. You've offed.
Yeah, the local law enforcement won't listen to it because he's a random Japanese police officer and he has no authority here. But he tricks the bellhop into getting him to Amanda's room by saying, "It's like, I'm Amanda's bodyguard. I've just called you on this other mobile phone to, would you bring this phone to her room? I'm her bodyguard. I can't leave." And he's like, "Okay." And then takes her to the room. The bellhop discovers she's dead. It's like, oh fuck, where's the I was gonna say the chess grandmaster, the shogi grandmaster's room. Need to get to him. He's also dead. It's like, oh man, things are going badly for
Yeah,
me.
discovers, or Asuka discovers him, assumes that he's the murderer, kicks the shit out of him, but then when his phone goes flying and she sees the photo of Amanda's body, she's distracted, which then allows him to knock her out with the old karate chop.
I mean,
And
like
that's
he knocks her out, but he does also go, "She broke a couple of my fucking ribs. I need to
yes.
steal her body because the American police will want to question her, and then I won't get to question her. So I need to just like abscond with her unconsciousness for a bit." Hmm.
And that's where it kind of awkwardly leaves it. And we see in the
Yeah,
preview next week is that Asuka is given the other teacher her umbrella, and the other teacher's going about to be shot at by some snipers. Because
Or will they?
that's the only thing they've got to identify their target is the umbrella.
yeah.
Um, I assume not, because it seems like this. It would be pretty harsh for the elementary school teacher to get her brain splattered all over the concrete.
It would also be really harsh. Like she's been like, oh my god, she's a lethal bodyguard assassin type thing. It's just like she's been working with this woman for years and years now in like outside of continuity. It's just like it'd be weird to go like, now you become the painted target co-worker friend, and it's just like, yeah, that would be kind of fucked up for her to do. We'll see.
But yeah, this might be the episode with the most amount of English in Detective Conan that I've seen, because the bulk of it is in English,
Mm, mm,
and it all comes across perfectly well. I don't think there's
yeah,
like any lines where they mangle anything. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and you kind of get a bit more of Rum's personality come through in the flashback. You can kind of see
mm, mm,
where he's coming from, as it has his evil position, which does just seem to be to a degree survival and loyalty. And the
mm.
question is how much loyalty now exists 17 years later, to a boss who is supposedly dead. Um,
God, I
but
know,
he's
man.
still the second in command. Kowloon generic romance, is that next on the list, or is that
It
the
is.
list?
And Shirley, I think.
And Shirley. Okay, I got these in the wrong order. I'm going to scroll all the way down here. Guess what? Marilla has inherited twins. She went to a funeral and came back with twins.
Oh,
As you do.
look who's gabling now.
Uh,
Also, we finally see Thomas Lind. Though before we see him, we hear his foreboding anime cough. We hear like a cough cough in the background, and then we go, "Oh, there's the husband. We finally met him." Um,
well, he doesn't
He'll be
cough into
fine.
his hand, look at it, and then there's blood. Like that's not anime wasting disease. He's gonna be fine.
it's a bad sign where you're introduced with a cough before you're even seen, I would say.
And you have been like told before you've been seen, you've been like, oh, he's been sick lately, right? It's just like, oh, that's not.
Well, it'll be one of those things, just like there another winter passed, and then Mr. Lind, he died of pneumonia.
Mm.
It was a big thing in the town, let me tell you.
Then, so we got Davy Keith and Dora Keith. They're twins. Davy is too much trouble, and Dora is too sweet. And they
These
have in
children have they've been through a lot, but
yes,
that Davy is a little wanker.
yes.
He's
Yeah,
a little
I couldn't
wanker.
have the patience for children that Anne has. I am thinking they're like more cheap. I guess they are younger than her when we see her first, but like they're more cartoony, and it contrasts
Well,
with how much she has grown up. Again, I think she's not even 17 yet, but she is a grown-ass woman, as they keep stating.
She says she's been around 17 years in this episode.
Oh, actually, yeah, there's we get a few months passing in this
Yes.
episode. So yeah,
She
you're right.
says,
Oh, in all my 17 years.
I was 14 years a child and 3 years an adult. And the only time she gets to fantasize is when she's walking home from school. That's in the second half.
Yeah.
But
She's
now
already
you have
so beaten down by the job.
but now, Dwayne, you have a thing to tell naughty children is, why can't you be more like Paul Irving?
It doesn't fucking work though. It's like, I guess Paul Irving wouldn't be a little fucking bastard, but it was pretty cool the way I was a little fucker, wasn't it? Yeah.
Anyway,
It's like, no.
these two children, I wrote down the size of these kids' heads.
Yeah. Are they chibi proportioned in terms of
they're-
head size?
Yeah, I guess they definitely allow an entirely new form of animation that the show hasn't used so far with these two
Yeah.
children. Particularly Davy more than Dora, but occasionally Dora as well when she's being forced to walk along the pig pen's fence. My favourite bit is Davy saying, pronouncing gentleman gemplum. But he definitely just reminds me of it's the Gegege no Kitaro story. It's the one with the ogre teacher who lives on the mountain.
Yeah.
Which, and in the comic, there's a little kid who has, in one panel, goes, it's a lot of fun being bad. Anyway, that's Davy Keith. It's a lot of fun being bad.
It's just like, no, oh, I know it was bad. I'm real sorry. But Jesus, when there wasn't a mad laugh when I did there back in the church. It was oh, come on, Anne, come on, that was hilarious. Come on. You know what I'm coming from, right?
Yeah. I do like his thing is, I don't feel sorry before I do it. It's only after I do it I feel sorry, and that's why I do it, because I don't feel
But
sorry.
even
before I
then,
do
it was
it.
a bad laugh. Like,
See, the I don't feel sorry before, and then after, I'm right sorry, Mrs. Ann. You know, it's just like it feels like it's like you got some like ADD or something like that, but then he has that slice mark. Is like, I'll fucking do it again. No, it's like, okay, no, you're a little shit. That's what you are, Davey. Yeah.
Yeah, so the first half is just general Davy hijinks, and then the second half is specific Davy hijinks. Because Dora has gone missing. Has she fallen in the well? No, turns out Davy
I
just locked
don't
her
know.
in Mr. Harrison's shed when they went to see the parrot. And he'd also spent.
And pulls a move of like, not mad. And no, she think, oh, Anne is top touch. She won't like shout at me. But it's just, I'm disappointed. I'm so disappointed that you brought me to the bawling in tears. It's just like, oh shit. If Anne starts crying, now we're gonna start crying.
Because it's
And
being
Dora
sent
starts
to
slapping.
being
Such a little
sent to his
trooper.
room without supper is just Davy's regular Tuesdays at this stage. So he's just like, oh yeah, I could take. Go on, sure, punish me. And she's just like openly crying. He's like, Davy, you've broken my heart. And it's just like, he's like, oh God, please, no, I'm so sorry. I'm genuinely actually sorry for once.
Because it's a little bit preying on the fear of abandonment here,
Yeah.
A lot's happened to these children. They've no family anymore.
Yeah. Well, they don't
Well, they're
realize
saying
that
what
they have
the
family
uncles
now.
or the uncle or aunt or something like that, but they didn't want them.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't realized that they have family now, and I did like the invocation of your man between Anne and Marissa like twice, or it's just like, because Anne says the title of the thing is like the people who need us most are the people we care for most or something like that.
We always tend to love. Also, you gotta help the people you love the most.
Yeah, you love best the people who need you most or something like that. And it's like, someone told me that long ago, Anne, and she's like, who fucking told you? And she's like,
who else who else lives here? Who else lives here? Who else would I have ever talking to?
Yeah. And it was just like, it's nice, like it's a good moment.
Yeah, because he explains that he did not know that lying was bad, and so he won't ever lie again. But he's like, but Morella lied because she told me that something bad would happen if I didn't say my prayers, so I didn't say my prayers for a week to find out what the bad thing which would happen was. And he's like, well, the bad thing happened is that he got in trouble for telling lies. Or he told a lie, and it's like, I was hoping it's something
So Marissa
exciting.
did tell the truth. I thought it'd be like a bear or something cool.
Yes.
Like,
she had to step carefully there because, I got to fucking like get this in right, this way. So I got to put my lawyer brain on and use your rhetoric against him, and she kind of comes around in a circular way. Oh,
'Cause
I see.
he's using his like, and she sees a lot of herself in him, where it's just like you're using your imagination, which is making you do wild fucking things that are shitty. But I need to like rein it in, where it's like, no, do say your prayers and do not be a shit actually, and do listen to us adults telling you what to do. Fuck, I need to. It's not quite a lie, so it's
No,
technically
I
true,
think
so
there's
that's
another
fine.
bit after where Marilla says, "Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. I once heard a vicar say the same thing, so I just copied what he said, and I assumed it would have worked." Um, and then the thing where they're like,
Again,
I said,
that's very much so. It's like, oh, you're an adult. You'll just say proper and adult things. It's like, no, I just heard someone in authority say it before. Thought it would work. It's like adults are just as much fuck up as the kids, basically. Yeah.
and they're like,
Again,
"Well,
keeps happening.
Dora's very nice, but Davy's more fun." Um, which I did read somewhere that apparently, like, Dora is supposed to be. I can't remember where I read it now, but someone was complaining, and then someone came in to explain. So it must have been on like a forum or uh, explaining that, like, at the time, Dora's meant to be like a parody of orphan heroines in
Oh, like
contemporary
whatever the time
stories.
Little Orphan Annie was or something like that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, where
But
they're
but
just
sadder than that.
yes,
yeah,
where they
yeah.
just endure hardship with sweetness and no personality. Um,
Oh, poor Dora.
yeah, poor old Dora. Yes.
Poor old Dora, a stereotype of the time that has now been lost, or basically,
Didn't
yeah.
ask be written in here. Again,
No.
just like throwing this N on my face. We can't all be N, all right?
Yes.
Well,
So
but so fucking, I've been beaten down my life.
A couple of the end stuff I really enjoyed as well was the town meeting where they're trying to figure out what color to paint the town hall, and the her and your man kind of like and your man exchanging looks at the other two, was like, these two fancy each other. All right, I see how it is. And then and being caught later daydreaming in the woods, kissing a fucking tree, and it's like, oh, you can only daydream when you're on your own. And she's like, you fancy a boy? And she's like, shut
How's
the
your
fuck
man
up.
doing? What?
Ah, well.
how's it go with you and Fred? Uh,
Hmm.
then we've got Gagamanga Biori Go, episode 12. Seemingly a great detective, Usami-chan, goodbye. Kumakichi-kun slash she really is a great detective, Usami-chan. There was an is missing on the uh, Prime
An episode
title.
that, like, the title is so long, it's nearly as long as the fucking episode, but you're obviously laughing more during the episode.
Yes, so Kumakichi is leaving school, and also someone has stolen all the girls. What is it? It's the melodica
The
The
recorder
recorders
valves.
again.
pipes
It's not
valve,
the.
I
It's
think.
not the.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the melodicas this time, not the recorders.
Yeah,
Melodica.
yeah. It's the
It's
melodica because
normally the
it's on the
recorders. They've mixed it up
it's on
this
the
time.
and it's his confession slash goodbye, I'll miss you all. And also, like, listen, I was wearing them as clothes, so that
Yes,
technically I wasn't naked. And is it a crime, really, when you think about
yes,
it? I was technically recycling them. Anyway, I've had great memories here at school. It's like, and just like bouncing back for it, everyone in class just being like, the fuck, which is
yes. And then
so
it
good.
becomes clear when, without Kumakichi, Usami-chan is itching to accuse somebody of some crime because she's going to accuse her cat girlfriend. It was like, have you been doing any crimes? It's like she distracts her by saying, "Oh, we're going on a school trip, and that's close to where Kumakichi's new school is." And Usami-chan gets the phone out and calls the police immediately.
That's all I needed.
And so they arrive at the school trip and they see Kumakichi completely naked being led away by the police.
Hey guys, I knew you were gonna show up, so I came here early, naked, and turns out the police were fucking just scouring the area for some fucking reason. So I hope you're having a good school time. I miss you all terribly, as he's been once again carried off for the
Yes.
second time this fucking episode
It's
by
just,
the
it's just,
cops.
it's always an abrupt cut to, like, the head down, being like led away in the handcuffs. It's just very,
Yeah,
it always fucking gets me.
it's so good. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a really long monologue of what he was going to do if the thing had been a success and he hadn't been arrested.
if they got to jump out naked in front of all the girls, as was his plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, good shit.
And imagining that they'd be really happy to see him.
Yeah.
Um, Kowloon generic romance, which my notes are, is guys at abandoned human immortality projects will retreat in nostalgic time loops instead of going to therapy. Um,
Yeah,
that's pretty much this episode. I
episode
saw
Yeah,
12. Yeah.
I saw a Japanese criticism of it, which is it's like a mystery where they have hidden all the clues from you.
Yeah, yeah. But one of the things I do appreciate is when a character discovers a thing of the mystery, they tell all the other characters they're in
Yes,
contact with.
that's
So they're not
nice.
like people aren't keeping secrets from each other. It's just they also don't know the plot until it fucking is discovered for them. But then everyone else knows the plot by that stage. Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, they don't know why the generic Terra is behaving the way it is. Uh, there's
but we've put so much money into it. We gotta keep going. We gotta get it to do
Yeah.
something.
That's a very pharmaceutical company kind of thing. It's like we made this drug. What does it do? Fixes pregnancies. It's just like let's just fucking market it as something.
well, it's like an
Gets rid of
allergy
freckles.
tablet which causes you to hallucinate, and they had to withdraw it, which is what
And
caused the
destroy Kowloon too, just to
To
cover that
cover
up
it up.
because they had a bunch of like old stock of it, just like, and we're still distributing it. Was the main reason the Kowloon 2 got destroyed, to cover up this makes you high cold medicine, or actually
yeah.
was it a painkiller? I can't remember, one or the other.
It was a allergy
Over the
medicine, I
counter
think.
thing, basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
it's yeah, and so the corridor that she was being warned off is the corridor that leads to where the original bought the tablets that she took, which caused her to accidentally off herself through hallucinations. Um, and so that's why Kudo has tried to hide that part of the Kowloon.
With all the talismans.
Yes, with all the talismans.
With the messages in them and stuff, and
Ooh.
that's kind of interesting that he's half written and it's like, turn back, stop fucking investigating, and part of it's written in
Ooh.
code, which is like, I guess, what he does most of the time in his day job.
Well, no, well, yeah, I think most of the time we'll see next this episode. Where did we see this? Is he playing mahjong in this episode?
I mean, like, he's
Not in
played
this
mahjong
episode.
before, but
You saw
not
it
not
No,
this
there
I
last
episode.
think
time.
I think there's a lot. I think in the comic there's a lot more of him playing mahjong, and there's a lot more of the guys he's playing mahjong with. Um,
And
uh,
again, like, because he's been cut out of it a lot, I'm guessing we're missing a lot of metaphors of him being not a master manipulator or anything, but controlling the board, moving the fucking
I
pieces
would
around.
say even inadvertently, just like his subconscious going. I really hope
Yeah,
like Kuja, like new Kuja doesn't go down that hallway where by Kuja IB went,
because
and
yeah,
that's kind of like to see will like, rearrange itself because it's all based on his mindset to try and keep her away from him.
exactly, like he's not manipulating people. It's basically automatically adapting. Like when a cat box was added to the back of the cafe before, just when he learned there's supposed to be a cat box there.
Yeah, like with Miyuki's going around, and he goes to the door he's afraid to kind of open and look, Dr. Wong's clinic, like the one old one in Kowloon, and it's entirely blank on the inside because, well, Kudo never went to that clinic. He probably saw
Yeah,
it from the outside, but that's all. Because
yeah,
Miyuki is
yeah.
sort of like, well, my grand plan to get revenge on the old man has been just completely foiled because he's got dementia and he thinks I'm the son I'm trying to like make this like soulless copy of. So it
So
kind of
so
takes
for him,
all the air off my sweet revenge I was gonna have.
yeah, and it's like you can see how media it is, because it is like a thing of like where he's just like, hey, where are you, son? Is like, I'm in my apartment. I'm at home. He's like, what are you talking about? You're at home. Come back to me. And it's like, all right, I'll see you later, son. He's like, fuck. So I can't even like go like, no, your son is dead. Haha. This is the no. He's just gonna think everything I'm saying is nonsense because he only believes that I'm his dead son. Shit.
Mm.
yeah,
Whale shit.
and the
I
I
like
problem
got a
with
whole
generic,
snake tattoo and cut my fucking tongue in
yeah,
half, all for this fucking nonsense.
and
Yeah.
according to Yulong, the problem with generic Terror is that uh, it wasn't able to download the stored memories into the vessels they'd prepared. He's helping
Yeah.
uh, uh, find the tablets, and then when they get the tablets, he goes, "I still think you really ought to die." But then he himself is not going to do it himself, which, as we know,
No,
he's outsourced that.
he wouldn't. But
Because I did appreciate him. Is it he tries to ring Yao Mei? And
wait, it is Rick and Zhao here.
sorry, Xiaohui. Sorry, I'm getting my names
Then
mixed up.
Yami's like, you can kind of like tell, give me that fucking phone. I'm gonna talk to this
Yeah, she
motherfucker.
rings him back. Like, it's like, don't you fucking try and murder my friend who's a boyfriend, her friend.
Friend anyway, and the cop like, phone. It's you from here in the cafe, yeah, but it's me and all the stuff. How did you want to talk to you, son of a bitch? My hands
And
on you.
and he kind of flips it on her. It's just like, yeah, no, I'm not. I don't need to kill her anyway. You can come back. Like, I'm not gonna kill you for not doing the job because I'm here myself in Kowloon. I'm just gonna go check her out. It's like, no, don't go near. Oh crap, he's already hung up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think you know, Yulong was doing this, like, and he's doing this strike for Miyuki because I want
yeah,
my friend not to be consumed by this, but it's all. Well, he's sort of been unconsumed by it, and he's found that he hasn't lost everything. No, everything he went through to save his mother. Gwen is still there. Gwen's always been here. It's like, I'm here for you. It's like he's watching peering around the corner. Maybe that's good enough for him. Maybe it's not.
yeah.
It'll have to do for this particular adaptation.
Yes, as everybody's confronting their regrets, and eventually Kudo does, and loads of people start dissolving.
There's an earthquake in Kowloon, generic terror Kowloon. So it's like, can she convince him to not destroy this little chunk of fake world? I guess that's the
Or
idea.
will she survive the chunk of fake world being destroyed?
Because she is kind of her own person with her own, like, even Yulon kind of like talking to her. He's kind of like, well, maybe you should kill yourself. And they realize, oh, you're a whole person kind of thing. You don't, because he's like, if you kill yourself, you'd be saving the man you love because he wouldn't have this attachment. And she's like, nah, man, I got my own shit going on. He's like, oh, okay. I mean, like, I'll give you the option. Here's the drugs, but like, don't, like, you do you. I can't really like progress this anymore. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it hurts more that the seems like trapped in this loop because he seems like even half frustrated when saying, "Why don't you be like the KuuuuuuuX here all the other summers?"
Yeah.
Like he's worried that he's perpetuating this loop. He just wants to kind of like just go out and play mahjong, and then we get some beers and fucking.
He wants to be stuck in the space where
you'll be my summer girl. Have this whole romance thing work out. I mean, it's like no, it'll all go bad, but we just go back to the start and just do it all over again. It'll be it's always fun.
He wants to be stuck in the summer of the will they won't they summer, like, because that felt really good, that there was a tension there, there's an excitement there, there's a nice like little bubbling pot, but eventually you got to cook or not with the pot, like, it's just, yeah.
And there's an ambiguity there, and it's like, it's like, well, it all seemed to go wrong after they got engaged. Everyone's saying, well, now Kudo, you got to make a decision. You got to commit to something and move forward, don't you?
Yeah.
So there's that feeding into like him wanting to just like keep reliving this over and over. Again, we'll see what kind of like they'll probably come up with a decent enough idea that kind of touches upon the general theme of the thing, where it's just like this can't be kind of just kind of wallowing in this like past, whatever kind of fanciful or even pleasant that it actually was. Some of those memories aren't ever even like bad memories that I kind of Zhao here. I wish I could just go back to that more innocent time, but you have to move on. You have to.
And like he can take enjoying the ruffles and the nice things with him as well. He doesn't have to leave it entirely behind. Like, it doesn't have to be filled with regrets. It can be a positive memory as well. I think it's going to have a decent enough ending from the way it's going. It seems to have like it's wrapping things up reasonably well. So I think it'll be smart enough about it. Like, I know we're missing out on a lot of context and a lot of depth from the adaptation, but it still works so far anyway.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm curious about the comic, but not so curious that I'm going to buy the entire thing.
Yeah, it'll touch by its themes, but it won't go as deep as maybe it would have liked to go, and have something a bit more of a resounding, more kind of complex, like kind of meditation on the whole thing. But again, if it moves the books, then which is what it's going to do for me anyway. Yeah, let's see.
Then you got Witch Watch episode 12, Dogs and Raindrops Part 2.
A very special episode of Witch Watch.
They use silly spells to defeat the warlock.
She's a teeny tiny little lady.
I like that it's like
a man's
resolved
afro.
really quickly, because basically it's like, okay, there's a whole bunch of guys up there, but we can use your detection thing because it finally set off in Nico to like you go like beep 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 beep, and when you it's like that's the fucking warlock, but they just do isn't it crossing your arms and pointing your fingers to turn invisible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can move among the crowd. The warlock
All the
figures that out
callbacks.
and just like dogs just start swinging wild and you'll randomly hit can, so it'll be fine. Nika's just like, I'm gonna just reveal myself by flying above them, and I'll find the most suspicious guy. That guy, the guy with the massive afro and the scarf. Like he's character design is way different than everyone else's. He's obviously the warlock, so they beat him up. No, that's not the warlock. What's the fucking deal? Warlock is the thing she traded for magical power was
For normal
height,
size.
size. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just like a nice little trick there, like Nemu before she got like knocked off once. And I gotta rush there and tell them because with perspective tricks from her point of view, we didn't know as a viewer that it was a tiny little witch lady in like a little egg cup flying around.
Yeah, yeah. It was nicely framed to hide that fact. But she became a warlock because she wasn't a witch, and she realized she had
wasn't
magical
popular.
power.
Just wanted to be popular.
Yeah, and then spent all this time and effort working on magic. It's like I've traded my life for nothing.
When's it gonna kick in already?
And a mysterious stranger goes like, "Would you like power?"
Yes, the mysterious being has both a woman's voice and a man's voice talking the lines at the same time, presumably, so you don't guess who it is. Even though I don't think
Baron Ashura.
It's a character we meet. I don't think it's a surprise. I think it's the One Piece mystery person. Who is it behind this mask? Somebody we've never seen before.
Cold that day.
Yeah, it's the Kaneko man. Who's that guy in the cloak? It's like he could be any fucking shape whatsoever under that cloak. It doesn't fucking matter, man. Yeah, but like the witch is taken care of like pretty immediately. They have her like strung up on a tree and Can's just flicking her. It's just like talk witch, tell us where our boy's at.
Where's
and
Moy?
The main thing is Moy fighting a werewolf in liminal wood space. It's the most shonen part of the show, I think, of just two dudes beating the fuck out of each other.
You gotta go to the abandoned quarry to do this finance.
Yeah.
Also, Wolf would win this fight one-on-one, but Moy's not alone. He's got his friends. And that's correct. He wins because he's got friends who just injure Wolf just enough that he can take advantage of it later on when he sort of concentrates on his martial arts.
I think the other problem Moy's having is he's trying to connect with Keigo, where he's just like, hey, when you were crying saying, oh, you guys are my friends, I was like, you meant that, and Wolf's like, shut the fuck up, because he's like, so you guys share memories. He's like, yeah, so you remember that time you cried and said we were friends? It's like, no, I didn't fucking like. So Moy was kind of like, I can't really beat the shit out of him because he is genuinely my friend, and I did like talking to him about fucking nerd shit that I nerd out about.
Yes.
So
he wins when he completely calms himself and just does the martial arts sort of coldly and calculatingly. Yeah.
Punches him into a crater. But as the problem is, they need the witch to release. Sorry, the warlock to release the curse. The pact. Because if she dies, he dies, kind of thing. So it's kind of like,
I'm not going to kill her. Tell us the name. Who hired you? Yes, the name of the one who gave me the power was. The name of.
It's why they wanted Nico's power. Is what he's asking. And she manages to get the word seal out before the extra power is stolen and they die. But the extra power also ends the pact. So Keigo is fine, and we can get over.
All like, what happened?
And we can get over our differences in the bath.
It's basically like having a slap on meal at the end, where we can all just be friends at the end. But I like the fact he's like, "Are you guys mad at me?" He's like, "Yeah, we're fucking mad at you, dude. That wasn't cool."
Until you explain why you did it when in a bath.
They did the exact same thing in Kill Blue this week.
Yeah,
And then, I'll go and use the warlock never had the umbilical cord solution, but I do, says Nico. So after we've settled here, we'll cure your injury. Oh, hang on a second, it's not your injury you need to cure; it's your mum's paralysis.
Nico did assume it wasn't for him, kind of thing. That
Yes,
because he's not the kind of guy who would be thing. And as he says later, it's like I actually quit. My injury's 100% fine now. I quit skating because I didn't want werewolf super strength to make me a better skater. And it's
and
just like
it's
that's fair. Okay,
and
yeah, that's an unfair
it's fine.
advantage you have.
And she's like, I won't need that elixir because I've got my friends.
Uh,
People are trying to hunt
hope
you,
so.
Nico. Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
But yes, happy ending for this core. But don't worry, they're back next week with new opening endings, which they discuss in the
But like we have
preview.
Keiko
What?
like crying with his mom who can walk again, and it's just like, wow, this is great. And then
They
it's like,
find
hey, he's moving in. It was like, why the fuck is he moving in? It's like, well, his mom's gonna work overseas now that she has legs. So
she's just to fuck off and travel the world like she always said she
thanks
would.
a lot, son.
Actually, it was
Bye.
more like I always said we would, but I somehow got written out this along some stage of the way, so I got to school with you now. So win-win.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's a big house, so
Yeah.
we gotta find rooms for all these wacky characters.
Mm.
and meanwhile, Nebra's God, human type familiars is the way to go.
So you can hug them, and they're beefy, and it's pretty
Yes.
great. She's being a horny teen. It's great.
Then what is next? Is it Go Go
Go
Loser
go,
Ranger,
lose a ranger.
episode 23, The Dragon Keeper's Deathmecia?
Is this it? Is this all?
No,
No, got
There's
another
more.
episode after this. There's another
Oh
episode.
Lord.
this one's better because
Yes.
I like the idea of the main villain just being a small child. It's like when I'm a super villain, I'm gonna have stretchy arms and shadow clones, and I have psychic powers, and I can shoot fire. And it's just like it's like that's basically his evil plan. It's like I have all the
Yes.
powers that I
His
require.
argument is that the Dragon Keepers aren't accurately portraying the cartoon, and therefore
Yeah.
he's going to make the world like the cartoon by
Mm.
being the bad guy. And he claims he's the father of Angel, and that the mother of Angel is a monster who apparently is the 13th boss, the one not on the records.
It's the
The hidden
photo
star
of
sign.
him and this fucking monstrosity looming over his shoulder for a cute picture where they're both like, except her face is like an empty fucking void inside a maw. It's really funny that they keep cutting back to that photo. It's a
Yes.
great picture.
My favorite cutaway is the guys from the blue unit who are now stuck on the base with the rest of the fighters,
I'll
listening to
watch it on
everything
telly.
watching on telly, and both the fighters and them being outraged at both the boss monsters and the keepers.
What the fuck?
Nobody likes anything they're watching on the thing. Yeah, that's really funny. A part of it I don't like as much is the small blue keeper where she had this thing with the new main blue keeper last episode where she's like, I guess I can't really accept you as the
Yeah,
new blue,
there's
but
a
it's
few
like you're
stuff
still pretty
rushed
cool.
really.
But here, like that thing's gone. It's like I'll get revenge for killing
Y-
blue. It's just like okay,
Yeah,
this
the
you weren't
stuff
like
which
this
really
last episode.
moves really quick is her.
Yeah,
She steals the Divine Tool 2.0 off Angel and swallows it and turns herself into a monster.
it is
But
funny. But Angel's like, I got this fucking pill that'll make you super divine artifact number 2. But the distraction is D has turned himself into her, but you can't tell which one's which, and it's like you can easily tell which one's which. The one that's making all the faces, that's D. That's that's the
yes,
guy.
so the conversation between Suzukuri and Red and the cloned thing that moves really quick because that scene
Yeah,
ends, and next scene you've got Deathmecia confronting the keepers, and Red has suddenly gone from that scene to confronting Deathmecia, and you're like, how did you get there so quickly? Well, probably
yeah.
because these scenes are in a different order in the comic.
There's the bit where like he's Red's down in the the hall of fucking clones of that same girl where he's like, yeah, press the button to destroy them all. She's like, yeah, absolutely. No, as you're strangling me, I'm going to hit the release all clones of me. And
Yeah.
the Red's kind of like, whatever, I'm gonna leave. I'm in a different scene in like 5 fucking seconds, so I gotta get out of here right now.
Yeah. I think the key thing is here is that while they've stolen the dragon artifacts from the dragon clerics or whatever they are, priests, priestesses, of which she's the last one, she's also using a slightly fake name, not a quite fully fake name.
She's changed like one part of her name basically, and she's the
That
last priestess, which is why they're cloning her, I guess, to
yes.
make weapons out of her.
Well, I don't think it's to make weapons out of her. The implication is that something bad would happen to the with the artifacts if there's not a priestess left alive.
Yeah. Sorry, her and the backup clones are presumably like, we need at least one of these around at all fucking times. Yeah.
Yes, because presumably without one, the thing happens that happens to the small blue woman when she uses the 2.0 divine tool, and her arm becomes incredibly large like a monster.
She grows just the arm of Umibozu, like the water guy. So she has one huge beefy blue arm, and it just looks nasty. And she's like, "Oh, I feel closer to blue," as she sidles up to her own fucking grotesque shoulder, and she's just like mostly just slapping people with a giant arm is basically the thing.
Yeah. This does leave D with his leg absolutely fucked up at the end of this fight.
Because he gets hit
Luckily,
by a divine artifact for real in his leg.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's after she's turned, because before she was just repeatedly stabbing him, doing nothing at all.
Well, he was regenerating but repeatedly dying.
Yes.
So yeah.
And Hisui finds her artifact, then finds D, and they basically agree, let's help each other and let's kill Deathmecia. Because I
Because
know
Dee's
you're a
trying to do his
monster.
thing of like, he was at the start of the episode when he had all functional legs, and he's like, get away from me, you damn keeper. And she's like, who do you hate most? It's like, that son of a bitch, Deathmecia. And it's like, me fucking too. Let's be friends and team up.
Because he's like, yeah, reasonably I should hate you, but and then flashes back to all the times he helped her.
Yeah, she's like, I hate all monsters. Monsters kill my parents. You're cool though, is basically she says, without, mostly by flashing back, but without saying
Yes.
that he's cool. Yeah.
Yes, and essentially they're hugging by the end of this episode as well.
Oh no, she's just holding him up because one of his legs is
Incredibly
a shitty
romantic
spike.
pose. Yeah, the most
Yeah,
romantic pose this series has had. Yeah, I mean, it's the speed at which it's going through. This is more coherent than other ones, though I did have to remind myself, where the fuck did what were the divine tool? Oh, it's the guy who left the yellow thing and went to the monster organization, and he gave it to them, and they're inserted it in there.
Yeah.
Some of them have got inserted into their heads. Yeah, okay,
because
right.
it did that bit so fucking quickly
Yeah.
that wasn't an arc. That was like a quarter of an episode, basically. Yeah.
She died in the acid. Yep. All happened.
Oh, I forgot to say, the horse guy died last episode. Like, that's the thing. He was just like, no! And they killed him off. He's still
wait till I appear in the TV. Oh no.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
So gone to the glue factory in the sky.
Did you watch Sword of the Demon Hunter, Dwayne?
Yeah. He has to fight his own dad / your one's dad, who has turned into a demon, and he's like, I can't do it. I can't kill my dad. We'd resolve this off screen where we exchange sake, and it's just like, okay, I do have to kill my own dad now because he's turned into a monster. Cause yeah, and it's just like, okay, and then your one like goes like, get out of here, you piece of shit, and it's just like, okay, I guess she's never gonna accept me as a brother or anything. Now, me and the what's the fucking guy with all the magic tools? Can't think of his name. Something the third.
Yeah.
They go off and find the spring. It takes them days to walk. Your man's like, I walk like at the pace of a normal human. You're gonna need to slow down, bro. But they find the spring, and he's like, actually, I've realized this is your story, so I'm gonna bow out for this fucking bit. Like, I got Charlie horse. You go on to that spring and sort it out. Turns out his sister has dumped the body of his priestess girlfriend in the spring, so that she's using her. She was using her regret as like, man, I wish I was alive and with the guy I fancied. If my body started polluting the spring and making demon sake out of it, then a demon hunter would have to come and get me. So it's like, it's corrupt. Like, that was the corrupting influence of her, and he gets to say goodbye to her ghost, and it's all good. He has one last bowl of ramen or whatever at the end of it, and he's just like, this tastes different. It's like, it's because you're sad now. That's it. And I'm just like, is it wrapping up this part of the timeline kind of thing and moving on to the next one? I don't know, because like they've killed a bunch of the town and everything. There's way less demons around, and his blonde sister is still missing, going like, damn, my plans have been foiled, but I'll be back again. So I guess we'll see
In this
if we're ever
century
going to move
or the
on to this time
next.
period.
I mean, Wikipedia says there's an episode on July 15th called "The Embodiment of Jealousy."
Yeah, I'm just wondering if they're going to move to another like time period, like,
Yeah,
or just jump 10 years or something. I don't know. We'll see.
yeah. I think there are lots of time periods from the books, as best I could
Mm,
understand.
mm.
Then we've got My Hero Academia Vigilantes, episode 12, Goodbye to Dad.
Bummer, man. But it's a very kind of powerful and resonant kind of bummer. Again, some very it's very satisfying that, like, you know, it was like a small scale arc
Yeah,
in this My Hero Academia superhero superpower universe. And it's just, here's something that kind of, you know, it's the beginning resolution of it. It's so much more it kind of comes of alpha, but for like the story of these of Knuckle Duster, that's like that's it. That's him. That's him. Kind of like at least this part of him over with.
yeah. The thing again that they can't, obviously it's fucking got My Hero Academia as a name stuck onto its fucking title. I can't help but compare. It's a story of a dad who was shitty but is now trying to do better, and it does it better than My Hero Academia. It's like, god damn it, it's taking his lunch and
So much
eating it again.
faster.
Yeah, so much more efficiently, so much more. Oh, that was a shitty thing he did, but he didn't intend it to get this out of hand. He's trying to do
Yeah.
better now, and he needs to beat the shit out of his daughter in order to say, I love you, honey. Now get electrocuted.
It gets fucking just so real at that, and
Yeah,
then when you kind of contrast it with young proteges, you know, he was meant to, like, you know, teach them the best lessons you could, so that, like, you know, saying he, like, you could see, like, I was sick of the mom because I need someone to carry this on after I finish this. Because if I just finish this, I'm through with it. I just needed someone else to just continue on what I do. And the show still goes ahead. They get in adversity, they still have success. It's like while they're enjoying their moment up on the big stage, big break, he's out there having to fucking put this dirty business to bed.
it's actually nice that it's kind of like I mean, like, it's less emotional stakes, but it's the more minor ones. But for her, like, it's Pop's kind of thing is like, Pop, the power's out because of the giant electric eel man last thing. So you're gonna have to do your regular show thing. Koichi has brought her little mic thing, and it's just like, because you're a single entertainer, you can entertain on the spot. That's literally like your thing. So you keep them occupied until we get the power up to do the main show, and it's just like, so she has to step up, and I was like, that's nice. That's a nice moment for her. But then in contrast to like Knuckle Duster and shit, where he's on the phone to the hospital, sir, your wife's taking a turn for the worse. He's like, don't worry, the family will be all together soon. As he's chasing his daughter down to beat the crap out of her. It's good.
Yes, I'd read down Pop saves the day. A razor spies the bee. A bee draws some of the power out of our eel lad and then injects it
Mm.
into Queen
I
Bee,
did.
Yeah.
which then draws out the daughter's personality because of the drug forces the bee's mind to recede. So
Yeah,
now he's
it's the
actually
idea that the
fighting his
drug is affecting
daughter.
the drug is affecting the daughter's body, so that she's like, you're dosing the body, which is the daughter, not the bee that's in control of her. So it's the daughter who's still mad at her dad, understandably.
Yes, because it turns out he's the rival's dad from Girl Meets Rock. He's like, you will not go out there playing your guitar, hanging out with those musicians. Um, stay at home, don't worry your mother. Yeah, he's a bad dad. We see in like brief flashbacks, and then but turns out she's got electric powers now and electrocutes him. So he has to revive his heart because we see in flashbacks he'd got the taser with additional fittings from the fixer guy who works with the villains in My Hero Academia. Um,
I'm gonna need this list of chemicals, and is him like, what the fuck are you making, a bomb? It's like, no, this is for pest control. It's an insect attractant or something like that. It's a
yes, it's a
pheromone
pheromone.
attractant or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
And he's like, also, I'm going to need you to modify the thing in this way. It's like, why the fuck would you want that? And it's not only a stun gun, it's also a defibrillator, because I'm going to need to stop and start some hearts, is the way he puts
Yes.
it.
I don't think he was expecting to have to do his own first.
Well, he
Now I
was,
know it
because
works.
he had it plugged into him. Like he had the
Yes.
wires like stabbed into his own chest. Let's just go like, okay, I'm back up. Okay, and one electric shock. Shame on me. Like, the next one.
Yeah, and the power comes back on. I made the note. This series really loves animals with quirks because it looks like the
Yeah,
CEO and the sponsor of the show is a man animal rather than an
he's a
animal man.
Tanuki. When we have him do his thing, he does the boom like popping on his belly.
Hmm.
So I think he only has the power to play his belly like a drum, which is cool, but it doesn't really come into play for
But
superhero
yeah,
stuff.
he's kind of got he's got the sort of posture that the principal has in My Hero
Yeah,
Academia,
Hmm.
who's one of the few from the original series who's confirmed to be an animal who's got a quirk that makes him a man, as opposed
it could
to
be a Tanuki with the quirk for good business sense.
yeah,
It might be the yeah,
Yeah, so they do love this, like, the visual cliches. And I mean,
yeah,
that had like fucking a cat that turned into a bus not too long ago.
yeah,
So
yes.
yeah,
So
yeah.
in
That's
it's
this
true.
very
one,
plain.
this one definitely goes more for uh, in this we see by the end that the queen bee is literally a queen bee with a quirk.
Oh, that's so gross as well.
It
Like
is
I
the
knew it was
idea
going to
of
be
it, isn't
gross,
it?
but I kind of forgot how gross it was when he finally gets like he has to actually beat up his daughter because she's in control of her body
Yeah,
but still mad at her dad, and he has to tear the bee out of her eye socket, and
It,
it's a big maggot.
he
It's a
has to
big.
go in so deep. Is just so
Oh,
no. It's just gonna pinch it up and say no. He's going fucking right in there and right
because
inside the
yeah,
brain.
it's again the thing of like the bee's just gonna kill its host and move to the next host. So he needs to stun it enough where the bees are just like, we are not in control. We're just gonna follow our queen bee. And that pheromone grenade that you've just thrown at the queen bee, it's like
yeah.
fucking. We get the
And then and
kaboom
and then
sound
the nice
effect.
touch is once the bomb's gone off and the bees take the mask comes off, and now he's just back to being the dad, reviving his
Yeah,
daughter, who he's just kicked the shit out of.
it's a thing of because he's lost like his jacket and he takes the mask off and he's doing the defibrillator and chest compressions on her and he looks so much smaller. It's really well framed. He's still a big muscly guy, but he looks like human proportioned all of a sudden, like
It's just
much more
like the
vulnerable.
the mask as well. Just like did a lot to sell when he's doing like, come on, daughter, come
Crazy
on, my little
eyes.
daughter, let's go home. And it's just a big, let's go home and let's go home and see your mother.
And the mask is like the kind of role that he's playing as well. Not quite like your 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 lick your blood fucking criminal guy, but like
Same.
because the way he says it's like I can do this because I've trained like in boxing, and it's just like I don't have to think about hitting her. It's going to come automatically. Like he did all that training so he could knock her out because he wouldn't be able to knock her out under normal circumstances because of all the guilt he feels about sending his daughter, like pushing his daughter away, basically. Yeah,
and then I also
really
wrote
good.
down. Also, Koichi was technically in this episode.
He brought Pop's mic.
He did. But at the end, after if we think everything's fine, we see a mysterious speeder collecting bees, putting them in capsules. He's got the perfect comic book flash yellow lightning surrounding him as he speeds around.
Like
Um,
over his face as well. He's also got cut up pretty badly there.
The other bit we kind of get is like of characterization is Eraserhead is just waiting for the cops to show up to arrest this electric eel, and the cops are like, "Is this one of those pop-up villains?" He's like, "I don't think so, man. I think this is a different thing." And also, could you wait for taking him off in the paddy wagon yet? Because he's still watching, he's still listening to the
I'm pretty
concert.
sure this is just like a 10-year-old boy who's been turned into a monster.
yes.
Eraserhead's being very like emotionally is like, you're not actually a bad guy. This is against your will. It's just like, okay, and he sees the
Hmm.
bean. Is like, so you were injected with this shit against your will. You're not like a piece of shit who decided he desired power. It's like you're a victim here as well. He's like, yeah,
Yeah,
we can let you listen to the end of the concert. Sure, that's not a problem.
and that's why he's good at, and as we see
Yeah,
so much more of, like, those one-to-ones with him, the empathy he has.
yeah,
I felt like you only see like a little kind of a small bit of that in the main comic when he takes like they do like you can like control your mind with his words. It's like
yeah,
that's kind of a villainous power. I know what it feels like. People fun think I'm kind of a creepy like weirdo as well. So I'm gonna take you in. You're gonna be like Razorhead Junior, and
yeah,
you and
yeah.
me are gonna do this. I know what it's like, and it just looks out for all of the kind of misfits like that in society.
Hmm.
Yeah, you do get the feeling like his actions have a little bit more thought behind them before he makes the actions. Also, on this hearing of bees, how Makoto's brother shows up and goes, "Bees, did you say?" A lot of the instant villains complain about being stung by bees just before they turned into instant villains.
It's
And
almost
that's
like
when,
they're all connected. Yeah.
yes, and then that's when we cut to the mysterious speeder who's grabbing the bees in sample um,
Hmm.
pots. Yeah, boy, that flash yellow lightning was very well done. I was like, "Ooh, I
The
like
flash
that."
yellow lightning, the glow was actually pretty subtle on the face. Him even saying it's like, I guess it's all for one or something like that. Like he doesn't quite say it like that, but it's just like, okay, yeah, you know what's going on.
And the fight in the alleyway part of the
Oh,
fight is
it's
really great.
when she's like flipping around and doing kicks and setting off bee explosions.
Yeah,
That was
I didn't forget about like the fucking, I guess, the flash grenade, so to speak. It's just
the
like,
bomb
I'm gonna
bees. Yeah,
work
yeah,
those in. Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
really well done.
and I
Yeah,
was like, "Yeah, I know which one she tried." There was a few spots where the fighting looked pretty good, but you're in a hard territory. Yeah, we got YAIBA at one end, Vigilante at the other. Uh,
yeah,
Now
at
the
le-
only kind of thing is that once Knuckle Duster exits the picture, is just like, there's, you feel like there's like a bit of a vacuum needs to be kind of be filled here.
sure, yeah,
And but I suppose this kind of thing is part of the story as well. It's just like, you can't have somebody who's that cool being a story for that long, because he'll solve all
no,
their problems. These kids
yeah.
have to like figure out how to step up in his absence.
I think he's kind of set them up nice. And the other handy thing, like I felt the same when reading it. I was like, oh man, because Nicholas is my favorite. But the other cast has been built up so much that even like when fucking Captain Celebrity shows up, and to do two things: one, to bring generators in so the concert can go on, and two, juggle some of the dancers as part of the show.
Go
The
on,
two things.
Chris.
I
Good
guess he
talk, Chris.
also, the third thing he does is complain that his manager is like, you're a real slave driver, boss. You know, it's just kind of like, okay, all right, I guess I'll fly over here and do this. I need me to fly over here and do this. Okay, sure.
Whatever, two timer. Get back to work.
But like
anyway,
it's built up all those guys so well, we can like hop between them quite well and not miss Knuckle Duster as much. Yeah.
still another episode though this season. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
then we got next on the list is Apocalypse Hotel. No, it's GQuuuuuX
Hmm.
first. GQuuuuuX episode 12. That's why I
Dot.
start.
Hmm.
Crammed
Uh,
in so much into this that you can
it,
only really take some very broad interpretations of what you might have been trying to go for.
Hmm.
yes, it leaked out my ears. Um, I'm just going to say my thoughts about it as a series. I think rather
Yeah.
than.
No, I think that's perfect.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, why doesn't it quite work for me when I like things that love to reference lots of things, like Haybot, and I like things that are built from the texture of a single thing made by many hands, like Immortal Hulk. And I I think in the things which reference lots of things, it's for Haybot is the point is never the things it's referencing. It's got a separate point it's making about production
Yeah.
of a Sunday morning cartoon.
I think
And
it's nearly there with what it's talking about here, because the part of the plot by
yes, so
what's
nearly
the
there.
blonde guy's name? Sorry, blonde.
Sure.
Shar, the blue guy haired guy's name.
Shadia.
Shuji.
Shuji. Shuji is basically saying,
Well, Shadia's more kind of silvery blue, but yeah.
yeah, I guess he's more like a teal. But anyway, Shuji is basically saying is like, she keeps recreating a reality where Shar will live, but Shar's always fucking killed by the White Gundam. So she made this one in which he's in the Gundam, and you can't be killed by the Gundam if you're in the Gundam, right? So it's basically suggesting like every Gundam is her trying to rewrite reality. So Shar
Except,
lives
of
in this
course,
one.
that's not what
Except,
happens in the original because it also has to
I
be.
know.
It
It's
also has
basically
to be a man in the
it's
high
trying to
castle as well.
yeah, exactly. It's trying to justify every other alternative Gundam timeline and also be the
Yes,
man in High
and
Castle to the original Gundam. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
because I was like, I think my conclusion was why I find it interesting but don't love it is it can't quite bring itself to be as iconoclastic in the texture of the story as it is narratively. Because
yeah,
It's yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
because I
guess
think ultimately
within
they like Gundam too much. It's like the
yeah.
meme of cool robot message flying over their heads. It's like the people writing it
Yeah.
are going as they're trying to put the message into the story, going cool robot, cool robot, cool robot. Like this guy, like this guy. Put him in it as well. Um,
It's very close to getting to some kind of Last Jedi style. You need to like get clear of this past. You need to be able to move
Yeah,
on from it. You gotta fucking kill it off entirely if you
yes,
have to. But wasn't it really cool? You can kind of tell, wasn't it really cool when you saw like all of old scenes like done up like modern techniques and stuff like that? And wasn't it so fucking nuts? It's just absolutely having a cake and eating it
yes.
situation right here.
Because the final
yeah,
fight is that Gundam which came through gets incredibly big and incredibly white. So it is either A, what Tomino wanted Gundam to look like originally, or B, it's what the original plastic model kits of Gundam looked like originally. And gets into a fight with the G-Cooks, which ends when Amate chops the head off the original Gundam. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a pretty good visual metaphor for what I assume you were going for,
yeah.
but it
And
didn't really
the
come
other
through
thing
in
is
the
the
story.
fight is yeah the fight is good as well because you have that with the you've the two girls being each. I always forget the fucking term for like you and your partner.
Mavs, which is
You
a term
yeah.
they made up, so don't worry about it.
I know. You be my Mav, you be my partner, and they're doing this cool two-person fighting where one's slashing the sword, the other one's like ducking under her arms, like shooting a gun, and it's like it they're really working in sync, and it's contrasted really well with the Shar Chalia thing where they're pulling out all the fucking tricks. Turns out Chalia wasn't even in the fucking robot; he was in one of the things zooming around. I was like, that's cool. You've got cool ideas there, but you're not quite hitting home that point you're trying to. It's so fucking close to being really really good at the point, but it doesn't quite make it.
Yeah, again, it's just like well, like I said, like fun trying to like you gotta make a break from the past. We're going to brace,
Yeah,
we're going to like fun show it off all again. It felt like okay, after us though, all you have to do, but we get to do it though. But after us, no one else can really do because we already did it. It can kind of be kind of a little bit like that. It feels like that to me. Um, and from sure having all this kind of land on him as well. By the way, your sister's alive, and also we've secretly been like trying to like gather power and influence in the shadows to put her in control of space, and she'd be
Yes.
a benevolent ruler.
yeah, that feels like that
Oh,
should have been a
it-
longer plot, like Jar kind of sorry Chalia betraying Shards. It's like actually I've got other shit going in on. I didn't mention it before. Didn't really have time to because we're
yes.
wrapping up.
Yeah, I half expected somebody at the end go, ladies and gentlemen, Rambaral. You love him. You've missed him this entire 12 episodes. Here he is.
It just really feels like when we get to the ending montage bit, we see her very very wound up, and then
Everyone
like
got the super happy ending as well.
like
That's the
Sailor
thing. Yeah.
Matt, aka Artisi, is walking up the steps of like the fucking Zion Westminster Cathedral, and it's just like she's going, "What the fuck? Fuck did I get here?" So she seems like she has no idea why she's here or how she got here. Neither
Yeah.
do we.
And I guess it
Because everyone
makes
gets
sense that at the end, Nyan and Amate are like, after they've been to the beach on Earth, are like, well, let's travel to another universe. Let's go and try and find Shuji. Then it makes sense that they're still bored of this um, world they've been thrust into, created by people in their late 50s, early 60s, who are being
they don't
iconoclastic.
they're too cool to be stuck in the plot of Gundam, so they're just gonna like dimension hop for a bit. And I was like, that's cool, that's super happy ending. Char gets I like Char's thing of like, I'm gonna try and live a life where you don't try and murder me, Chalia. So now he's helping orphans in war-torn countries. Oh,
Yes.
look, there she is. She's like, oh fuck, it's Char, brilliant. Oh, everything's going great. Everyone's getting the super happy ending.
Yeah, even though there's loads of bits I didn't really understand. I like the big visual metaphor because when it gets getting big, you like really get a look of like those classic sort of plastic model uh,
Joints.
pin cut. Yeah, the pin cover things for the joints.
Yeah, I
Uh,
like that. That was definitely like we needed to make it big to show you how much time we spent on those models, getting all the little details
yes,
right. Yeah, it
yeah,
was
it's
a thing
weird
of
that you.
love for
Real
sure.
ones will know what
Yeah,
this looks like.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's weird that you take the gun down, make it bigger, and it looks more like a toy, which I think is an interesting
Yeah,
concept.
because
Um,
generally it's presented on the size of the screen as like dude size, because all the other robots are dude size generally. But like making it bigger does make it look more fake in a way that works, because they're trying to show it is
yeah,
grown by changing dimensional properties, and also it's a giant toy
Yes,
now,
it's
which we're
worth
beheading. 'Cause
watching
fuck
because
you,
it's
Gundam.
it is generally well made. It is fascinating and it is fun
Mm.
to talk about, but it is disappointing in a way that Gridman and Dino-Zen's a good because Dino-Zen's thing is I'm not going to take loads and loads of pieces of Gridman. I'm going to take a single episode of Gridman and a single character or a single monster from a single
And
episode of
expand upon
Gridman
it. Yeah,
and make
yeah.
an entire series spinning out of that.
And
Yeah,
if you
but
hadn't
it
seen
speaks
it,
to
like
the
you didn't
themes of
need
it.
to.
Yeah, and
Yes.
Sorry,
it
sorry.
makes it better. And I feel like it really like even capitalized on that with
Mm.
the Gridman versus Dino Zenon or what a Gridman universe film is. Like that was at the then the grand fucking this like compilation of all of that coming together, the conflicts. But it's like yeah, I get that, and I didn't need to know everything about Gridman to have that to come
No.
across. It's like I have seen some anime, I have felt just kind of really psyched up by it at times, and that's why it's more trying to speak about that feeling. It kind of conjures up how does something imaginary make up do that to the human mind, but it
Yeah.
does. But celebrate that.
But of course, the last episode of Haybot establishes that GQuuuuuX is part of the Haybot canon, so as is all anime. Uh,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
it works on that front. Yeah, the other problem I have is I'm currently watching the current Super Sentai, which is doing similar things. I would argue better because again, it can afford to be a little. It can both afford to be more iconoclastic and also practically it has to be more iconoclastic because they can't necessarily bring back guest stars. They can only bring back the robots. And so they get to recast the robots in new types of ways. But it's
I will
also
say
very
that.
much about
Oh, sorry.
it's very much about being a sequel. Weirdly in the same similar way Don Brothers is, but different. But the fascinating thing is this is written by the daughter of the guy who wrote Don Brothers. Um, so I'm hoping they do a crossover movie at some point because they do feel like in dialogue with each other.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that has a thing where it starts with the robot that all our heroes drive has apparently killed all previous Super Sentai robots it's the very first scene of this series, and it's like, well, that's where it started from, and whereas GQuuuuuX basically that's where it ends. Um,
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
and
The thing I think it's is doing successfully though. It is making me look at those new robots and going like, ooh, I like the variation on that. I like the early Zaku, the shitty fucking construction worker Zaku's like, ooh, that'd be a nice custom. I'm looking at it.
Hmm.
And that's what's the night one? I can never remember that one with the shield and the lance.
The Gyan.
Again, this is the best that fucking thing has ever fucking
yes,
looked. It flying like lance forward like a rocket. I was like, oh, that looks good.
that was my other thought. Was like, how much is the limit, Bandai? Uh,
Yeah, sure.
Hmm.
Whereas in the Super Sentai, which I guess is still Bandai in Japan for that, is that the things they're doing in that is to get new uses out of old molds. So they had
Yeah.
can never remember what the Japanese name for the robot from the original Power Rangers is, but they did a fun thing with they've got like an evil version of it. Uh, and
Okay.
what it did the other week was combine rather than the usual animals attaching itself to the arms or dinosaurs attaching to his arms and legs, it was ones from other Sentai formed the arms and
Ah.
legs. At which point our heroes go, "Don't know what's going on. Let's run away." That was how the episode ended.
Oh yeah, it's going to roll the transformation montage. Wait a minute, this isn't the transformation montage. Oh
Yes,
no.
pretty much. Yes.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. Uh, as you, like, I agree. We're kind of push this a little further because maybe we're persuaded people want to watch Gundam things. Maybe like there was a bit of message there fun saying maybe like try something else. Maybe not everything has to be about fucking Char all the time. I know you love him, but try watching other things, anything at all.
Also, this episode is who is apparently the new voice of Amuro is the old voice of Amuro. Boo. I don't know if it was just previously recorded dialogue that they
I
used.
imagine I think that was just like old footage. Like
Yeah, I think
having
so.
his fucking ghost appear was enough, I suppose.
Then we got Apocalypse Hotel, episode 12, aimed to be the #1 hotel in the galaxy.
Successful.
Mankind
Accomplished.
returns to Earth. Well, one of them. I love how so much of the dialogue has got like the classic sort of astronaut microphone click.
Yeah, it has to like turn
Can I
on
book a
before
room,
she
please?
says any line. Like, yeah. She's actively like hitting a button to open the radio on it.
Essentially, the theme of this episode is why am I not happy that humanity is alive?
It's the thing of like she's gotten distracted by the premise of the thing. It's like, and that's the way she figures it out. It's like you're a hotelier robot. You've been running a successful hotel for centuries now. You're happy that the work is good. It doesn't matter. You're not concerned if humanity lives or dies. The point is to run a good hotel, and you run an excellent hotel.
The thing
Like
is,
that.
though, like you were programmed to serve humans, but you've evolved as
Yeah.
as a sentient life form to like be an amazing like hotel guest welcoming person to all manner of entities and life forms from across the universe. So when a human turns about to slow along and you're like, oh yeah, just give him give him the bed, give him the shampoo hat. Yeah, I love the shampoo hat. Except this one can't put it on because
Like the
we're in a
human kind of going like,
spacesuit. It's
"Holy
driving me
shit, is
kind
that
of
a
nuts.
shampoo
It's like,
hat?"
why
And
can't you just put
everyone's
a
like,
shampoo hat on?
"Yes, a
Yes,
fucking human who can
but
appreciate the shampoo hat." It's like,
yeah,
I can't get out of the fucking suit though because I
yes,
don't know if the air is
but
toxic. It's like you can
then
put it on your spacesuit. Like
yes, then she starts doubting that she's human because she won't wear a shampoo hat. So she runs
it's
loads of
like humans
checks.
fucking love shampoo hats. Why didn't she wear the shampoo hat? I'm gonna fucking run a diagnostic. It's just like, fuck. I got a scanner. Fuck. That's
Very
definitely a human.
invasive, yeah. It's just like running through all the filters.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the environmental robot is so happy and he has done his job. Here are the results. It's fine. You can take your helmet off. The virus is gone. Uh, my
It's
purpose has been
mostly thanks to that
served.
guy from the first guest who, like,
Yes.
his weird blobby fucking thing has cleaned Earth's atmosphere. So
Uh,
good on him.
Too bad you're like, I was like, okay, that'd be great, no, but won't she like, after being centuries away, she'd never grow up as Emma, and then immediately she kind of falls ill. I thought they'd like, it would be hilarious now, like, after all this time, she just like turns entirely green and falls over. I thought, oh, it'd be hilarious if they just killed her off after all of that. But it's just an amazing, like a bad allergic reaction.
yeah.
She's gotta stay in the suit.
Hmm.
You've grown up, you've
Well,
never like
yeah.
experienced this environment at all, and
You guys have grown up in a space like centuries of being in clean rooms. Like you're not used to just pollen,
pollen,
even like yeah, just basic ass shit
dust,
like on
or
Earth. Mm.
anything.
Um, and we see like there's like all these things. So yeah, she's broken a virus detector. She crashed a spaceship. Which leads
The
to our
Tanukis are kind of like, don't worry about it. We crashed our spaceship here. It's
yes.
like, here's your problem. It's just like, you're going to need to replace this part. It's like, how'd you know? Have you seen a human ship before? I did. They were deadly nice, sound out people. Like now that I think the family's just like, shut the fuck up. We've been telling this lie to our best friend for
Evading
years now.
justice for so long.
We see like a little glimpse of what this woman normally does. It's like a boring space office job.
Like
And
look at human stuff like sky and family photos, and it's just like, man, that looks pretty cool. Like I could go for some of that. Yeah.
and the final moral delivered by our heroine is humans are so stupid. As our human leaves and says, "Well, we'll be back soon." And she's like, "So what
When?
good is soon? When?"
Because
When?
the flashback to the manager is like, that's what the manager said. And it took fucking centuries. When are you fucking coming back? She's chasing spaceship. It's like, goodbye, Ezio. Oh, she's running after me like in the
Just
train
the
thing.
core embrace out. She's like, get your fucking ass back. And she's like looking in the rear view mirror so she should chase Jennifer and saying, oh, she can't bear to see me go.
And she's just pissed off. And final achievement unlocked of calling a guest an idiot means you unlock whistling. That's pretty cool. That'll be fun. just gives it a little go. It's
Just
like,
try it out.
and the montage at the end of like, here are the guests, like the cactus man comes back with his wife and kid by the look of it. There's lots of little bits sprinkled in the shots. Like it's fun. It's again,
Little Tanuki babies running around. Everyone's having a good time.
yeah.
Whiskey's doing good. Mature Yachio is like just dishing it out. This is
Literally
going all
the
right.
only literally the only flaw I could even say of the show is I kind of wish the other robots got stuff to do more, because even in the ending montage I saw the chef robot is into karaoke, and I was like, man, I would have liked to see that more, because again, the door robot does his door telling fortune to try and try and assuage her fears. It's like basically she loves me not with opening and closing doors. It's bad, and I was like, I like these stupid robots as well, but like the show is fucking excellent overall. Like,
Robots have like some of them like doorman, like for one example, or environmental survey robot who's just gone like, for lack of a better term, crazy from
yeah,
years of isolation.
yeah, that's what
Their
I like
function is
about
the
the
only
other
thing keeping them
robots.
sane.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, like they've so many other things. They cover so many other stuff, and obviously, like Yachio's our main robot that we're following. Her, to, it's not even like she's becoming more human. She's becoming more rounded as a character, and she didn't even realize it. By
Yeah,
unlocking all the new features as well. So you know,
it kind of like I haven't finished it, but it's like a much more comedic version of Vivi Fluorite Eyes' Sound, which is about a robot who needs to like head off a threat on unspecified times at some time in the future. So it's just interfering at certain events in the timeline and trying to head it off. So again, it crosses over multiple decades and centuries and things
yeah,
leading
yeah.
up to this thing. But here it's just like the most that happened is that we put in a sauna. That's all we've accomplished in 50 years of service is put it in a sauna.
Hey, they run a damn fine hotel that you don't have to pay. Well, you do have
Mm.
to pay, but like you don't have to bring any of your own money. They'll provide you money to pay with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
also.
as much time passes where things can change and we can like, and do a whole different genre episode, it's just like also we've let all to stay the same because they're all robots or long-lived alien races, so they're also going to be just here. We can just explore the passage of time in a maybe a not entirely morbid fashion.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's the best thing aired so far this year for me.
That's
Mm,
that's
mm.
side games like an interview that was up there about we just want to go have some crack at it. It's like we've been thinking about we could get into the whole adaptation game and but I think we got enough like good ideas. People are saying no, give us the new stuff. It's great, and they're fucking on a great streak here. Keep it on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good way to spend the ill-gotten gains.
Well, this is
And
doing some
Man,
good.
like if this is like the 80s thing of the embezzling money made great anime,
I
I'm
don't
fine
think
with
it's
it being
yeah,
used on this kind of situation.
it's gacha money. It's not embezzling.
Yeah.
It's been freely given to them. Uh,
Mm, mm.
that addiction, their people's addictions have just handed it over. Then finally, we got Me and the Alien MuMuu, episode 12, MuMuu and the Battery. This is the one I missed because I was ill. I think I skimmed through when I downloaded it to make sure
Mm.
it was working. So
Yeah. That's it at the meeting at the a public location, the animal cafe, where there's like not just owls, there's also pigs and other things running around this
MuMuu
cafe.
trying to get a cat toy to work on a pig is pretty great as a background detail in that. Yeah, it's just like this is their covert meetings. Like no one will notice if we're talking to animals in this because everyone talks to animals in this cafe because it's the animal cafe. But yeah, it's the idea that he's like, yeah, you don't need to like his cat is very much of the opinion you need to fucking move. Like we need to cover this up, and it's just like nah. Everyone thinks the alien invasion was fake, except for the Japanese government and army who do think, oh shit, I don't want to fucking deal with aliens, so it's going to get bounced back and forth between them, and that's a kerfuffle. But honestly, it's my fault for not like sorting you out better. So you're cool. You can keep going. And the main problem for her is that she needs to distract the boy that she likes. Is like, who's this guy? And he's like, I'm her uncle, and she's like, he's my dad, and it's like, yes, I'm her dad's brother, so I am her uncle, and it's perfectly normal. It's like, and everyone in the cafe turned around. Did she say sugar daddy? Oh, that's her sugar daddy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and also finding out like through this meeting that like they're trying to get in like in close with the minister for transport and infrastructure, whose son happens to be walking in the door right now. It's himself.
Yeah, Decimaru failed in his mission to infiltrate a main government body and got adopted by the main government body's son and brought to his apartment. So yeah, he kind of fucked his mission there. But he's not distracted by her potential sugar daddy. He's more distracted by the fact that he's petting his cat in his lab. That's the insane jealousy that he has looking at the dude. It's just like, oh god. And he asked the lady working in the restaurant when Decimara tries to distract him by doing cute cat things like sitting on a Roomba. It's like, where can I buy one of these cat cars? I need one of these for my apartment right fucking
You
now.
mean the Roomba? Well, here's how it works. If only it wasn't getting jammed with cat hair.
And they explain what one you're actually supposed to use with pets and the different filters and like robotic vacuum shit, that kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, because the president is in the hospital. It's like, we got to fix that room, bro. You're the only hope. You're the only one. The only one. The only one. So this is
Because
guy
she's
getting a
thinking
bit
about
more.
quitting the club because that's how they fucking resolve the whole fucking a cat drove a truck into a fucking building. They're just like, wow, a serval really crashed into here. Huh, invasive species are crazy. That's the entire fucking way the public reacts to the situation. It's really funny how fucking dumb humans are in this. But she wants to leave the club because she's like, I caused them so much trouble. I put them in the fucking hospital because I was related to them. And your man's like, you're the only one who can get him to get one of the Roombas out of the thing because I'm done up in hospital. They're just having me in for tests. I'm grand. I just have a hole in my skull. It's fine. And it's like, oh shit, is that the girl who fancies me coming into the hospital? I gotta go. I gotta hide for some fucking reason. So she is needed in the club because she knows where the thing is, and he tries to hold her hand to bring her to the club, and he's like, oh no, I'm holding her hand. I'm slightly embarrassed. It's like, oh, he's slightly embarrassed. That's good. But Decimera's like, you fucking holding my girlfriend's hand, just kicking him in the shins, which is ineffectual because he is a cat.
I
Very
don't
good
know.
part.
I watched one from last week where they're fucking going at it like cat fisticuffs. That's a serious kick. Those cats again.
Apparently, this is shit at kicking though. Yeah.
Well,
And
he's
then
more top heavy. He's more like a grappler. He's like throws himself across you. He's always in your lap.
then part 2 opens with her and MuMuu stuck in an elevator, and she needs to take a piss, and it's like, you're probably wondering how I got myself in this situation. Well,
We're talking about batteries.
yeah. They needed better batteries to win at the stock car races against small children.
Hey, this is the plot of Yakuza 0 you're talking about here.
Yeah, the stock cars.
No, but the children are shitty fucking winners.
That's true. The children are much nicer in Yakuza 0. They're much happier with a man in his 20s joining in with their fun and games.
Whereas then this is like, stupid old lady fucking doesn't even have a boyfriend, has to come here and fucking raise kids. What an asshole.
Whether they win or lose, they wheel that out.
They're just shitty regardless. Yeah, they have one insult each, I think, is how it works. Yeah. But so she needs better batteries. We learned the difference between lithium and I've forgotten the other fucking kind of battery.
Alkaline batteries and manganese.
Yeah. And which ones you kind of want for what purposes?
Why Japanese?
Oh, she's annoyed him to such an extent that he asked her to go get coffee from the specific machine in the old part of the building over there, which she does. But then she gets caught in the lift because I think there's an earthquake, so there's a power outage kind of thing. But she did drink the coffee. He's not wanting to waste them, but now she needs to piss. And Moo was like, well, either you piss in that corner and blame it on me, or we MacGyver our way out of this situation. Let's unwind your jumper into a ball, your yarn jumper into the ball of yarn, and we'll fucking we'll make a cup phone. We'll tie one cup to the fucking remote control car, and we'll drive it up, and hopefully shouting for help will do the fucking trick. Now we need to use the specific batteries that'll get it up the slope of the yeah. It's
luckily
very...
this building was constructed in the bubble economy, so it had a particular kind of open plan like layout that was usually attractive aesthetically, so we'd be able to kind of get the car to go up some distance and find somebody. Like what's her face is coming in and going, what's going on with this fucking school? The power outage and everything like that now, one. And there's the other dude. He's like, he's rushing towards me. He's grabbing my hand. It's just like, is this the day? I watch what do you say? Oh yeah, we're going somewhere dark. We're going to finally do this.
Oh shit, he's taking me into the basement. I'm getting fucked today. And she's like, I don't know if I'm ready. He's like, come on, we gotta go. It's like, oh shit, he's being forceful. I'm fucking into that. Yeah, let's fucking go. And he finds a car with a cup in it, and because of it going around several corners, the cup phone does not work. But he's like, a car with a cup in it. That's
strange.
I should probably follow this thing of yarn. He does, opens the elevator, saves her, and she's like, thank you very much. And it's nearly romantic, except she has to run to take a piss.
Yes.
Like immediately.
Yeah. Also, she's in
like,
her vest. She has to run to take a piss in her vest. I'm also seeing this scene here where she admits that she wasn't listening to the talk on batteries because she was too busy staring at how pretty Sarumi was, and everybody else's faces are sketches.
This time.
Everybody else's faces are drawn like just sketched in.
Yeah,
that's very funny.
Really roughly.
Joke.
She has eyes only for the hot boy. But yeah, they're kind of growing closer. And MuMu having to explain the science to her means he is actually learning and paying attention, which is good for the overall plot.
I'm curious if these are actual specific brands of batteries because they are very clearly
The
illustrated
colors,
and
yeah,
thrust towards the camera every time they're mentioned.
Or close enough looking to inform. Get these
Yes.
kind. These are the good ones.
yeah. We can't put the brand name on it, but we can put the color fucking thing of the blue and silver or whatever on it. Yeah.
Like fucking like a positive angular fun saying this is the good lure.
Yeah.
You know this box with the kind of the writing on it is kind of faded out, so you can't read it. But this box looks like this. This is the good kind. Get this kind.
Or
Yeah.
Sunny Boy, which is just look at all these name brand sweets. We've set up a tuck shop.
Stop Barry-kun, wow. And the Mars bar.
I mean, like, they've established with MuMu that they could literally do product placement very fucking easily in order to explain the products, but they also like to shit on other products, which might get them in trouble.
That's
so
true. Yes, because these are obviously Tamiya 4x4 mini four-wheel drive cars, as was a fad multiple times, but in the 80s, both in Yakuza 0 and in my school. Because we had a model shop, we stocked them, and people who had big brothers who had like the big remote control 4x4s. So that was your stepping stone into that hobby, was to get the mini 4x4s. Um, yeah, I will. Will I see it next week? I hope so. I hope I'm not ill again. But there's also so many other things to watch.
yeah.
What we've got. So we've got coming back next week. We've got Chibi Godzilla reigns again.
Hey,
We've got Dan Da Dan.
excellent.
And we've got, starting of possible interest, detectives these days are crazy. I've not watched it yet. I'm not super confident in the staff, but I'm more confident in the trailer than I am of some other things that
It was a good trailer. Yeah.
If it was good material done in a workmanlike fashion, if the material
Yes.
things, it might be
Yeah.
enough. But it's also the first thing that, well, I'd rather watch then this week rather than this. So that's gonna probably happen.
Yeah.
And Hell Teacher Nube is the other thing starting for our next slot. I should probably try and watch. I do like that one of the things of Hell Teacher Nube is like we can now finally paint in the grey into his eyebrows. Never able to do that in the 90s.
Well, it's been a few years. He's the greatest that's come in now.
And I like that the theme tune's not a cover of the original theme tune, but it definitely has heard the original theme tune. And it wants to make you go, this is reminiscent enough of the original theme tune that I'm not going to be mad that it's not the original theme tune.
Okay.
I'm still probably going to go to YouTube and also watch the original theme tune, because holy smokes, that original theme tune is one of the best. I would say it's better than the original show. But I suspect the original show suffers a little from the quality of the material available, because I've never seen it like particularly crystal clear.
Well, make it do like a Ranma half on this, as is kind of the trend nowadays for like bringing back things up this era or close enough to it, and we can, now that it's all done, now we can actually just take all the killer, leave all the filler.
That new Ranma half trailer as well was very much, once again, just so you know, we've clearly animated the entire season. if you know what the season's covering, and you see this trailer, you can say, okay, yeah, it's going to be fine.
If you know the stuff, it's less like here's what's coming, and more a mark of confidence. Is like, don't worry, the shit isn't going to get rushed. That's the thing I like a lot about these old remakes. They're not just going like now to bring out the old brand. It's the old favorites. Like, no, we're going to make it better. We're going to make it like not rushed. We do know where it ends. We're going to pace it correctly. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm fine with them doing that.
Well, I feel like they're, we could call it once it's an overcorrection. It's just like we're adapting something that is like, of an era from when people would not really normally ever watch or care about. They probably heard complaints about, oh, it went on for so long. Oh, it was always filler episodes. Fun
Yeah,
saying,
yeah, yeah.
but like, what gets left out? Fun saying, well, some of those fillers are actually like maybe not from the comic, but they were original idea, but they were occasionally got really good. And so
Yeah.
don't throw everything out with that.
Mm-mm.
But if we need to head that off, we need to have these like retro revivals be just top notch. We got to have any complaint of like oh, it looks too old, it looks too, it goes too slow. We have to get rid of that altogether. So hence the frantic pace of YAIBA, hence like the kind of things Ramen was doing. We can't leave any space to kind of think or allow like too much like of a complaint of it's too old, it's too slow to get in.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Talking to trailers which do that slightly not anime. I watched the trailer today for the Edgar Wright Running Man. That's a trailer very much edited to let you know that we're adapting the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
It's it like hits like all the points of difference between the book and the original film, just to assure you that it is the book that is being uh, adapted this time. The only other thing I caught this week was the new Lupin OVA.
You
Okay.
naughty boy.
Yes. I don't think
Well,
that's what put me in bed
he'd
for
be he'd
36
be proud of
hours.
you.
He
It's what
would.
Lupin would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. The subtitles are okay. The essay, the guy who did the subtitles, made me scratch my head, and then I looked at like the other subtitles they did, and I was like, okay, I think I might wait till there is a different set of subtitles before I make a final decision on this, because lots of his subtitles are, I'm going to put the swear words I feel were missing from Lupin Third Part 6 back in. It's like,
Mm,
Take that, Mamo, you shit.
it's like, uh, why? What gets
that's a
it?
very old-fashioned thing. Like I
It
remember that,
is.
like someone's like joke subtitling Naruto. Shut the fuck up, Sasuke, you bitch. You know that like it's just like no, like we don't. It's not necessary. It doesn't enhance the fucking work, lads. You might think it does, but it doesn't really.
Just it's like my favorite is always the there's a Kaizoku fan subs when they edited in blood into One Piece. Where there was not blood before, they put blood in.
Like a lot of people bleed in One Piece. You don't need to add much extra to it, but all right, fair enough,
Oh, you
lads.
gotta see Chopper get his guts copped up.
Oh,
Oh man.
so yeah, whenever I think am I a big old nerd? I go, no, I'm just a medium-sized nerd.
Yeah.
There's sizes of nerd that I could never hope to reach, and I hope I never do.
Hmm.
Um, that's
Noble
it for this
nerd.
week. We'll be back next week with a little bit more.
A little bit
Um,
less.
was what ended this week? Gagabaga Biori,
No, I keep
Apocalypse
no, I
Hotel.
keep taking off. License are still one away. So
Hotel. Yeah,
looking
we
Kowloon is still going, and
yeah,
A
Vigilantes
Vigilantes is
is
still
little
one
bit
more.
longer. A little bit
yeah.
longer.
We took 3 away, and we'll add slightly more than that. This is great maths. Then don't look at the next
7.
week. Don't even stare into the abyss. We'll be back next time. Ta for now.
Discopolis.
Bye.
Farewell.